you mentioned, Seismic. That's one of the more successful retrofit programs too, especially in the state of California. Some of the
Yeah.
seismic retrofits. Um, but if you rewind the clock like way, way, way back, and I was noticing this, was at the Smithsonian, the Museum of American History, and they have an early colonial house that's actually reassembled inside the museum. And I'm looking at, of course, all the connections, right? Like
Sure.
13 years ago when I started IHBS, I wouldn't go stare at this stuff readily.
No, now you're geeking out.
But yeah, but the way, with the type of connections back then, you created a natural load path. But as we sort of progressed all the way to when mass production of homes started, we got away from, a lot of that because on some of it's highly skilled carpentry kind of work. And
Sure.
I wouldn't even attempt to do that. But now
No.
we've caught up with modern techniques that do save on the labor and that kind of thing to be able to accomplish the exact same thing like we were doing, a century plus, and more than that now these days, ago. But it's just these factors that can actually keep a structure together that, to be honest, if we put them together, like the doom and gloom, they don't cost that much in the grand scheme. But we've hit it. Like there's some retrofits that we have, and we have to,
Mhm.
folks in that era of construction, you are the candidates for, you can make a big difference with just when you re-roof going to something like the fortified system,
Yep.
you get a good shot to do something really good to your home.
Oh yeah, my house was built in 77. It's a perfect candidate. And I'm happy though, and when I got into it and looking around, I'm like, oh, cool. Trusses are clipped down to the top plate. I'm like, somebody went the extra mile at the time.
Yeah, I was surprised when we bought our house in South Carolina, our first one, and we saw one. They actually did the truss to wall connection clips. Missed one. Of course, my wife, who's also an engineer, makes the calls the builder. We weren't the first owner either, but we were able to actually get the original builder to come out and deal with it. But the typical homeowner may not know what they're looking for in that inspection. But so as we improve codes, bringing that side of the inspection process along is just as important.
Yeah, no question.